Starr Lewis is the Associate Commissioner of Office of Teaching and Learning in the Kentucky Department of Education. The Office of Teaching and Learning is responsible for curriculum areas of early childhood through early childhood through high school. As Associate Commissioner, Ms. Lewis is responsible for leading the state's efforts during the Reading First grant writing phase and implementation. Ms. Lewis has received a BA from the University of Kentucky and her Master's in Teaching from the University of Louisville. Before joining Kentucky, the Department of Education, Ms. Lewis taught English and psychology for 17 years.
Chairman Miller, Ranking Member McKeon, and honorable members of the committee, thank you for this opportunity to share Kentucky's experience in Reading First. I serve as the Associate Commissioner in the Kentucky Departments of Education, Office of Teaching and Learning, and in this role, I led our efforts during the Reading First grant writing phase, and my office is responsible for the implementation of Kentucky's Reading First plan. I'd like to begin my comments today by saying that Kentucky's involvement in Reading First has been extremely beneficial, allowing us to create a statewide support system for beginning readers, their teachers, and administrators. I'm extremely proud of the Kentucky schools involved in this program and of the staff at the Kentucky Department of Education who support their efforts. However, there were some issues that we faced in Kentucky, issues the committee may want to consider as they prepare for reauthorization of Reading First. Our introduction to Reading First was in February of 2002 when we attended the department's Reading Leadership Academy. Using the knowledge we obtained from the Academy and other technical assistance provided, we drafted our proposal and submitted it to the department's expert review panel for approval in May of 2002. Our commissioner at the time, Gene Wilhoit, reported to our Board of Education that this proposal was the best thought out and well-written proposal he had seen. In short, we were confident that we had put together an excellent proposal and that it met all established criteria. Unfortunately, this proposal was rejected by the department's expert review panel, as were our second and third proposals. It was only after our fourth submission that our proposal was approved. We had asked for but had not received the expert review panel's actual comments. I must add that I did receive them yesterday from staff. But the summary sent to us by the Reading First Director, Chris Doherty, repeatedly pointed to concerns about one of our proposed assessments. Our first two proposals did not include DIBELS. We were hoping to build on our existing experience with another assessment called Developmental Reading Assessment, or DRA. We really felt that we had strong experience and evidence of success from schools and districts using this assessment. After the expert review panel rejected our first two proposals, we contacted Mr. Doherty, who referred us to RMC Research Corporation to obtain technical assistance. During our conversation with the RMC technical assistance team, we were given advice about a number of issues related to our proposal, but we were repeatedly advised to replace DRA with DIBELS. I mentioned on a conference call with the RMC team that endorsing DIBELS appeared to be a conflict of interest, given the involvement of a number of individuals connected to DIBELS who also served on the Reading First Academy Assessment Committee. The RMC team acknowledged the connections, but continued to say that our proposal would likely be viewed more favorably if we included DIBELS. After this call, we learned that one of the members of the technical assistance team, Joe Domino, was a DIBELS trainer. Commissioner Wilhoit sent a letter to then Secretary of Education Rod Page, appealing that decision to deny Kentucky's funding based on inconsistencies in expert review panel decisions across states and on our concerns related to potential conflicts of interest. We received a response from Eugene Hickok, the former Deputy Secretary of Education, assuring us that there were no discrepancies between state reviews and no conflicts of interest. After receiving the response from Mr. Hickok, we reorganized our proposal to more clearly and explicitly address the concerns of our panel and resubmitted in December of 2002. In this second proposal, we addressed every concern identified in the summary provided by Mr. Doherty and even added DIBELS, but we did not drop DRA. On January the 8th, 2003, we received notification that our expert panel had again rejected our proposal. In March of 2003, we had a conference call with Mr. Doherty, We pointed out that we had been reviewing other state-approved plans, and at least one included DRA. He assured us that the state in question had agreed to remove the assessment even after approval. While Chris never actually said the words, "Kentucky will never be funded as long as it includes DRA," we all left the discussion understanding that to be the case. We removed DRA, kept Dibbles, resubmitted our proposal in March of 2003. We were approved for funding in the next month. During the proposal phase, Kentucky did not experience pressure concerning core programs or intervention programs. As we described in our proposal, Kentucky has legislation that gives all curriculum decision-making authority to school councils and explicitly prohibits the Kentucky Department of Education from mandating curriculum materials. However, after we started implementing Reading First and after our first federal monitoring visit, the monitoring team's report raised concerns about reading recovery and Rigby as not being sufficiently grounded in scientific-based reading research. In the letter from Mr. Doherty accompanying the report, he did not name the program specifically, but raised concerns. Again, we had a conference call with him, during which he suggested that our funding might be in question if we continued to allow schools to purchase these two programs. We asked Chris to put in writing that we could not use Reading First funds for reading recovery or Rigby. He refused, but he did invite us to write a defense of the two programs. We did so and have never received a response from the department. Since the recent reports and the departure of Mr. Doherty from the department, we have received emails, letters, and calls from new Reading First staff, but we have referred them to the letter we sent to Secretary Page, and we have requested the names of our expert panel members and copies of their responses. We got the responses yesterday, but not the names, and we had not received the information before then. I want to repeat that Reading First has been a success in Kentucky. I'm here today to give feedback to the committee on the problems we face so that Reading First can go forward stronger and continue to make a difference in classrooms across Kentucky. Thank you.